Yo, people, welcome to Footy Judge Mo, people. Liverpool are not messing around. We understood something, and actually Liverpool are preparing something completely different and a surprise for everyone. A bid is ready for Alexander Isak. It looks like they're going to get the green light from Newcastle because they can get their player back. Of course, Isak, that is not going to be integrated again. That is the reports that are saying. But also there is a massive report coming that Rodrygo's agent is trying to push a move for him, maybe to Arsenal, Liverpool, but it looks like might be Liverpool are ahead of the pack now because it's a separate thing than Isak. Before we talk about both deals and before I talk about what Isak expected, there is a twist, a little bit of a twist that I didn't see coming and none of you saw coming earlier. Make sure to hit that like button if you're here. Subscribe to the channel. This is Footy Judge Mo. If you're new, you like me, you hate me, it doesn't matter. I will always say my opinion as I see it, and you can debate me and you can actually comment and I will try to respond to every single comment below. Hit that like button. It helps the video. It helps the channel massively. It helps us grow to 50K or more. Even with your help, we can reach that point. We're trying to put content out for you every single day. Turn on the notification bell. But listen, I'm not going to talk waffle a lot about the channel. I'm just going to tell you what I've seen in front of me. It looks like there are trusted sources that are saying that Liverpool are kind of fed up with waiting for Newcastle. What I understood is that Liverpool want to actually now expose Newcastle and just put the bid on the table. That is 130 million and see if Newcastle going to reject it. They believe that they're going to get the player. They believe that Newcastle will finally accept a bid of 130 million, which is close to the valuation. I said my opinion before about this. I said if Newcastle sell for 130 like this without even a replacement, I think they look like a weak club. However, Liverpool are adamant that they want Isak. Isak is adamant that he wants Liverpool. And Newcastle should find a solution. It's either you try to integrate the player back or you accept the sale. But you're not going to just lose your asset for like 3 years. You need to try to make something happen. And I'm very consistent about this in terms of like, I believe that if Newcastle don't sell, there is a way for him to go back to play. I've seen this before. There are a lot of other players that did stuff like this. We remember Harry Kane with Tottenham Hotspur. But however, do I want to see a player that is so upset, that is not happy? Can Newcastle convince him to give everything on the pitch, even if he plays for Newcastle again? I'm actually not sure how he will feel about it, especially because the fans are against him. But however, it looks like that after the game on Monday, the war that is happening on Monday between Liverpool and Newcastle at St. James's Park in game week 2 of the Premier League, the Liverpool might put in the bid because everything will be calm after the game. Hopefully nothing bad happens in the game because there's a lot of people that are expecting things, and I'm expecting a professional settings from both teams. But the 130 million though, what's the structure? Is it 130 million fixed? Is it 120 plus 10? Is it 110 plus 20? What about the add-ons? How they are? There is no information about this. It looks like it is going to be 130 bid. Wait, 130 million pound bid, which is a record-breaking fee. Is Isak worth that money? For Newcastle, he's not. Newcastle value him higher than this. Liverpool fans are saying that nobody pays the valuation of a player, which is, I'm sure about this. In negotiations, yes, you don't. Currently, at the moment, Newcastle are still adamant that he's not for sale. But in their statement the other day, they said that we can sell him under certain conditions. We don't know these certain conditions. The only thing that we know is that they wanted to sign a replacement. And for the money, they kept saying certain valuation for him, which might be too high for you. You let me know what is the real valuation for Isak. If you're a rival, you let me know. If you're a Liverpool fan, you let me know. Put in mind the other players as well. I want to know what you guys think about Isak valuation. What is the valuation? However, there is a twist that I didn't see coming. It said that Liverpool are preparing the 130 million bid that will be put Tuesday out. But there is this news that actually surfaced, which is very surprising, that Liverpool remain on the sideline, willing to see what happens between Alexander Isak and Newcastle. The problem is the story that is surfacing now, that Isak agent or Isak camp, they believed that 100 million pound bid will see him leave the club. But there is no information. This is Luis Díaz, which is somehow a reliable source. He's saying, as in front of you, a story is circulating in a well-placed circle, not connected to either club, but familiar with the inner workings of the transfer industry, that Isak was under the impression that a bid of 100 million or more would see him being released from Newcastle this summer. This is brand new information. Again, I'm going to repeat this again. If Newcastle promised Isak to go for that money and they didn't let him go, they are absolutely at fault here. They promised him the contract and they didn't give him the contract that they promised because of the change of sporting director. They tried to rectify it and he actually didn't accept it. That is fine. I am actually looking at this and I'm saying Newcastle made a mistake. They tried to fix it. Isak has all the right to not accept it. But the value for him, if he was promised £100 million move and he is not getting the move for Liverpool's bid of 110 million, they are absolutely did him dirty. They are absolutely did him wrong completely. That's why I want to know, where did he get that number? Where does that number come from? And because he mentioned something about the promises in his statement, and everything in the statement was pointing towards the contract. It's not pointing towards a move away from Newcastle. Newcastle have denied that they promised him a move this summer. They absolutely denied that they will grant him a move this summer, and he's free to leave for a price. They never said that. They said that we respect his wishes, but if he has to go, we kind of have to have our conditions. But that's for Isak, which is, I believe it's absolutely going to be a crucial part in Liverpool's season this season, because if they don't get Isak, they need to run to the market and try to get another striker, because after selling Darwin Núñez and after the passing of Diego Jota, now with Ekitike, they are left with one striker only, and a one striker is not enough for you during a whole season because of injuries and because of the number of games. So they need to run to the market to try to find a backup striker. I don't know who the backup striker is. Is it going to be someone in the Premier League? Is it going to be someone from outside of the Premier League? Nobody knows, because they're fully focused on Alexander Isak. But the story that has been surfacing since yesterday, which is I spoke about it from the Arsenal perspective on the other video, is the Rodrygo situation for Liverpool. As it is reported that Rodrygo now have accepted the fact that he's not going to be an important player at Real Madrid, that Xabi Alonso doesn't have him as a part of the squad. He chose Xabi Alonso to have an 18 years old come on the pitch on the weekend game before Rodrygo. He doesn't have a future and he needs to play football. He's on 200k. Liverpool or Arsenal can offer him 200 to 250k. He has only 3 years contract, so if he's offered 200k on a 5-year contract from one of the two clubs, I believe he's going to accept it, by the way. I don't think he's going to ask for 300k. My man needs to accept that money that he's given because he doesn't have a future at Real Madrid. He's been frozen out. And currently, he asked, that's the report that is saying from, again, another journalist that is kind of credible, that he asked Florentino Perez to actually sell him this summer. That is the bid. As it's reported, the sale for Rodrygo would be between 80 and 100 million euros. That is what Real Madrid will add. But the other news is that Liverpool have completely entered the race. But I'm going to tell you something that you will find. There is an article that is written on the other side that about Rodrygo and Isak situation. I don't think they're connected though. That Liverpool have entered the race to completely sign Rodrygo from Real Madrid. He is heading to the Premier League. So that's why his agent is trying to have meetings with the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool. There are no reports about Manchester City yet, but the agents of Rodrygo is currently in the UK negotiating on behalf of his client, with Liverpool interested in him as a Luis Díaz replacement. Let me tell you something about, before I actually show you the other article, let me tell you something why Rodrygo is so crucial to the likes of Liverpool. Because there is a post-Salah era. Rodrygo currently is someone that can play left, can play right. He can be the winger that gets you that 15 to 20 goals or 20 plus goals from the seasons after Mohamed Salah. That is why if I'm looking at him, there is an out-and-out striker in Isak, and there is a winger that can continue and carry the winger side after Mohamed Salah leaves the club. I don't think Mohamed Salah is going to renew his contract. At the age of 35, at 2027, he's going to leave. So he has 2 years left. I hope that he can continue for the rest of his career at Liverpool, because I want to watch him in the Premier League. But you look at tactical point of Rodrygo, someone who can actually a goal threat, can play on both sides, can actually play central as well. He's creating, he carries the ball, he's a goal threat. So I believe that he's a very crucial part of Liverpool. But the most important part about this, which is this article that I want you guys to read actually, is Rodrygo isn't an Isak plan B. This is someone that wrote this article, and this is circulating from yesterday. He's a completely different play than Alexander Isak. That is something on the side. Remember, Liverpool haven't spent a lot of money in terms of net spend. And I know that a lot of people say net spend is not real, but also it's the amount of money you spend versus the amount of money you sell, right? This summer, Liverpool have sold a lot of players, and they are still looking to sell Reavealed. So they have leeway actually to spend more money, even if they spend 130 on Alexander Isak and another 70 on Rodrygo. That's 200 million. That takes their spending, net spend, to about 300 something, which is what Man United sometimes do, what City sometimes do. So nothing is stopping them from doing this. As this is saying, that Liverpool was never a part of the Isak plan. Liverpool pursuit of the Newcastle forward has always been singular, structured, and deliberate. They want an out-and-out striker. Isak is the number one target up front. Rodrygo is so separate. Rodrygo is different. He's not a fallback from the Isak situation. He is not an alternative. He's being looked at as the post-Salah winger currently, a multifunctional forward, as it is reported in this article. Real Madrid have actually frozen him out of the squad, as it says. So Rodrygo might be a Liverpool player plus Isak. I want to get your opinion. Where do you think this Liverpool team is going versus the likes of City and Arsenal? I know that Arsenal have signed Eze, and they believe they have had a magnificent window. Earlier this morning on the lounge show with Jessica Black. Make sure to subscribe to She's on Arsenal. She said that she believes that the window now is 9 or 9.5 out of 10. But isn't the window comparable to your oppositions? What if Liverpool get both Isak and Rodrygo? Does that make the other windows look so weak as well? Should an Arsenal go for a left winger, or is it going to be the left winger? And if Liverpool get Rodrygo and they have Wirtz and Iketika and they get Isak and then root Salah and they still have Cody Gakpo, where does that leave them in the world? How good are Liverpool? Incomparable. And I want to ask you this, guys. If Liverpool get Rodrygo and Isak, how do you compare them to the likes of Real Madrid? But let's move it further. To the likes of Barcelona with Lamine Yamal, to the likes of Paris Saint-Germain. How do you compare them to these teams? Are they better? Are they now the favorite? If they get these two players, are they the favorites to win the Champions League? And we know that they're going to be favorites to win the Premier League. But are they going to be favorites to win the Champions League as well? You let me know. The picture of Liverpool looks absolutely fantastic. Currently, they don't have depth. By the way, remember, they still got to get Gehi as well, which is very, I think probably he's going to move after this weekend. They're going to, maybe Crystal Palace are going to play him this weekend, and then he's going to move. I know that a lot of people thinking, oh, he's going to see out his contract. He's going to move. Crystal Palace are very clear about this, that they are looking out to sell Gehi if he doesn't renew his contract. You guys let me know in the comment section what you guys think. This Rodrygo news, this Isak news hit us hard, but I want to know what you guys think. Hit that like button if you're here. Subscribe to the channel, guys, if you're new. And turn on the notification bell. And I think I will see you guys in the next video, because I think there will be breaking news in the next couple of days. I will see you guys. And we are out of here, people.